Hi, it's Michelle Turner from Movement Lesson, and here's another simple lesson you can do just at home before you put your shoes on at the computer. It's really quite easy. As usual, just check to see how you're doing your left from your right. And just notice, is it easier to the right or is it not as easy? Is it easier to the left? Do I want to fist my hand? Just notice, Who pays attention to how they look left or right? And again, anything that I tell you to do, no pain, no stress, no pushing to the limits, no offense. Someone that's rotted up, through half their back is going to move differently than a 15-year-old, it's just, or someone with scoliosis. We all have different things that our life presents to the table that we're different than everybody else. That's what's wonderful about humans. But at the same time, sometimes we look at ourselves that we should act like everybody else. And that's not always the case, especially when you're just playing with yourself, as I like to say. So just take your arms and your fingers or whatever and just interlace them, however you naturally would do it. Interlacing is quite interesting. We're going to play with this a little bit. And just kind of do it like you were holding a bushel or something. And now, just feel what it's like to very slowly, see, I'm not going for gold here, I'm just bringing my arms over to the right. But notice I'm doing this as I'm a big solid unit holding a big bushel. I'm not keeping my back still and doing something like that with just my elbows. I'm acting as if I was just hugging a giant teddy bear. And rest. And rest like this, put your hands, I don't care what you do, just for a second. Same thing, interlacing the hands, and now go to the left. Is it easier to do it to the left? Maybe you can't do it at all to the left. Are your shoulders up here? Are they down here? Just notice. It's not about doing something right. It's how do I move and what can I do to make this more efficiently? And after you do that, I don't care, 10, 15. I don't want it to seem like exercise, just to do it as experience. I don't want it to go to where there's pain. And now, same thing, interlace the hands and do the whole thing. I'm going a little fast, go a little slower. And just see what this feels like. And rest. Now that could be enough for some people. That's a lesson. That right there, that's enough. But if you want to make it more complex, we'll start bringing in the eyes. So now, interlace the hands. And as you go to the right, just bring your head to the left. Same thing in between each time, always rest. It just gets the brain time to just adjust to, you're different, you're totally different. And the same thing as you go to the left, you want your head to the right. Again, no pain, nice and easy, much slower is fine. And after a rest, you can bring your hands up or down. Heads opposing. Notice a twist that's starting to be asked on your chest cavity. Notice if there's movement in the pelvis. Are your knees going to and fro? And again, and now you can do a little quickies. And slow. And as usual, look left, look right. Is there any difference? Notice too when I do these little things with you and you're just doing them. Notice how you don't have a world. You're just sort of into doing the movement lesson, but you're not thinking about, okay, I have to shop this at Walmart, I have to, that for at least a time being too, when you're working on these little very simple but complex things, that the world tends to go away. You're freeing the mind to actually concentrate on you for a change. So now bring the hands together, and this is where to bring in the eyes. I'm going to keep my head still with the hands, but as I do that, I'm going to look center. Oops, I'm not doing my head. So it's actually a little difficult for me to do. It's kind of hard to talk and do eyes and move your hands at the same time too. Another way of doing that one is just going to the right. My head's staying still towards the camera, but my eyes are following my hands. As you can see with something like that, that's actually quite difficult for me to do to the left, and that's fine. You know, it's just something I know I need to work on, or I need to try again later, or just observe it. I don't have to go, oh. Some people do, but so for right now. And again, notice this one, and this is driving a car. That's where this comes into working your computer with the mouse. Versus here again, cooking. This is how it all applies. This is swimming, crawling, all of these things to work the chest cavity, breathing better, heart function, all great things. Now you can do the whole thing over again, flip me, but this time when you do it, you normally want to interlace. Let's say I go right on top. Again, you could be here, here, you don't think about it. Do the non-habitual way. Just bring the fingers to here. This alone, and just doing this to the right. Unbelievable. Some of you, this will be a complex, just shifting the fingers down one, because you really just never do it. And again, it's just referred to as a non-habitual pattern. And do the whole thing again with the interlacings changed. And you'll be surprised how that changes the way your neck can function, through the shoulders function. Just doing, see, I'm doing it already the habitual way, and doing it this way. Maybe this is easier to the left as I'm looking than non-habitually. That actually is a little bit more strange but true, difficult to do just looking that way. So just play with that. It's a very simple lesson. You're not getting up from your chair. Remember, there's no pain involved. And see what that's like. Let me know. Thanks.